I've been waiting to use this title for a long time. A couple weeks back, someone in the comment section said something along the lines of no more monkey business, and I told him, like, as soon as Monkey dies, I'm using that as a title. I mean, this is kind of crazy, because at first I was like, I'm surprised they killed 3 characters in one episode, because we're only halfway down the series, and then I realized, oh wait, no, we're halfway down the series and half of the contestants are killed, so that actually makes sense. And this 100%, it clears up everything. They're following the Zodiac order of the Great Race. Like, that's 100% how it is. The only oddball is Snake, which it does get confirmed. Snake is 100% dead, which, based on the translation last week, it literally felt like they were still counting him as alive because of how many they wanted left dead before they could start betting. So it's interesting that Snake is dead, but it's interesting how his body is working and how his head is still functioning as like a watchout, and that's ultimately how Monkey gets screwed over, because his head is just sitting in a tree, and because he's a necromancer, he gets to see and feel what his kind of undead army is kind of seeing and feeling. So it's very interesting how the moral of this episode was really stop underestimating your opponents. Sheep saying like, oh, Tiger is obviously the weakest, and I knew he was going to get killed, but I wasn't expecting he was going to get killed so easily, and that's why I really like Sheep's death, because this drunken Tiger just, boom, dead, and it was just like, okay, like, this dude super underestimated the Tiger, and obviously he paid for it. But to see ultimately how Monkey died, which I knew Monkey was going to die. I was saying it last week in the comments, a lot of people. Like, Monkey is a pacifist trying to side with a crazy necromancer. That's not going to side well, but I thought it was so interesting that ultimately the way he got the upper hand on a fighter who is clearly more skilled than him was because he used the head of Snake and spotted what she was going for, and that's why he knew he should throw his knives back, which was completely unexpected as well. And I would say probably out of all the deaths this week, I think Horse's was probably, no one probably saw that coming. The fact that Horse essentially got scared of Ox, he was terrified that even if I could survive till the end, there's no way I can physically beat Ox. He's insane. And I like how his backstory worked with how he got this kind of like artificial kind of superhuman body, but how he essentially is just sitting in this room and he's just like, I don't know what to do. And the whole stuff with Rat pretty much just toying with him, it almost felt like. But Rat doesn't also seem like the guy, he's just kind of waiting for the end, it feels like. He's like, I'm gonna take out the last person. But it also feels like he can read minds in a lot of ways, because a lot of the stuff that Horace was saying, it was in his head, but yet he responded. It's like he knows everything that's happening, and it's crazy. Like, Rat is just such an interesting character because there's so many mysteries about him, and I can't wait to see his backstory and ultimately how he's going to win this, because he obviously is going to win this. But it was just insane because I was like, is Rat gonna slit his throat? But no, he ultimately just gets out of there. He's just kind of waiting it out, and he warns him that, you know, snakes follow me, you might want to get out of here. I love how he ultimately dies from suffocation. He can deal with the heat, as we see with his backstory, but the fact that he was in a locked room and he was trying to smash his way out, the smoke got rid of all the oxygen and he suffocated. Like, all of the deaths this week were pretty unexpected with how they happened. Obviously, we knew they were going to happen, but the fact that Sheep got killed so easily, so fast by Tiger is like, you know, you should really not underestimate your opponent. But at the same time, I think a lot of people knew Monkey was going to go out because she was trying to side and have a peaceful treaty with an insane rabbit necromancer. That's not going to go well, but I didn't expect how Snake's head was going to play a factor in that. Snake was more or less going after the rat, and then he kind of got carried up in all that mess there and then suffocated. Like, even though you know the deaths are coming, it's unexpected with how they happen, and then it's all about the characterization and personal stories. I know some people are still going to say, oh, the ending spoiled everything, but pretty much everyone in Asia knows the Great Race story. Like, the only thing that didn't technically follow was Snake, now that we got the confirmation that he's dead, but still, we're going to see Snake's backstory, obviously, when his brother's dragons comes. I assume they're just going to kind of connect the two, and then probably Dragon's going to get killed and become a necromancer, or kind of an undead part of the necromancer army. But it's very interesting. Like, I really, really enjoyed this episode. Like, a lot happened, and at first I really thought, like, did they do too much in this episode? Like, how are we gonna fill the second half of the series? And then it's like, oh wait, they still have 6 contestants left, and based on how they handled the past couple of episodes, they might not kill, it might just be more characterization and kind of time to talk to one another, and then they'll start killing again. But I like this episode. This was definitely unexpected with the how they died. Obviously, at least I thought a lot of these characters were going to die in this order, obviously, because it's following the Zodiac's Great Race, but I didn't expect them to kill 3 characters in one episode. Like, that was definitely unexpected, and how they died, I enjoyed it. I mean, Horace's backstory wasn't anything to write home about, but it was interesting in its own way, so it was kind of funny the fact that his training was essentially to withstand heat and like molten lava, and ultimately he gets trapped in a building kind of caught in flames, and it's like, oh well, of course I can survive this, but I can't survive no oxygen. Like, there's so much like little tie-ins to all this kind of stuff. I really enjoyed it. I thought this was a fun episode. It was definitely unexpected with a lot of the aspects of how they died, but it's definitely, stop underestimating your opponents in a Zodiac war, because these are all people who were specifically chosen to fight in this. You can't underestimate. So it's sad to see the old man and some of the other characters go out, but it'll be interesting to see how the second half is going to go going forward. But let me know your thoughts. What was your favorite death in this episode? Let me know. And before you leave, smack that like button, share your support. If you're new channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.